When I say no to their small projects, I'm saying yes to mine. And that's something that I've always struggled with. Hi everybody, it's Alex, the host of Guiding Creatives. I'm a community for creatives, multi-passionate people, freelancers. I want to help you get what you want the most. Maybe it's to enter a creative career, maybe it's to make money, maybe it's just to live in your passionate creative self. Maybe you want to paint the next mural in your hometown. I'm here to help you do it some way, somehow. Today, we are going to talk about people who are in creative businesses or have creative careers. And this topic is very impromptu. Like, this has just happened to me. I've just had an epiphany in my own business. It's something I'm dealing with. It's an obstacle. So what we're going to talk about today is sometimes you have to start saying no to the smaller gigs. You have to start saying no to people who just want the cheap and easy work. You have to stop working the smaller projects. It has to either be big and difficult and take a lot of time or nothing. And that sounds a little bit counterintuitive because you're thinking to yourself, or I was thinking to myself, the small gigs, the ones I can do really quickly, like easy cash flow. But I'm going to explain why that is kind of a little paradox or misconception. We're going to talk about it. But you're one of three people right now. One, you're somebody who knows you have this problem and we're going to learn together about how we can combat it. You're somebody who didn't know they had this problem, and I'm giving you an epiphany like I just had one. Or three, you're somebody who is not at this stage yet in your creative career, but now that you know this, it's going to help you bypass this obstacle or overcome it so much easier because it has been bogging me down and I haven't been able to pinpoint it. I've been raising my prices like crazy lately. I feel like I can never keep up and people keep coming, which is a good problem to have. And raising your prices is something you should do when you feel overwhelmed. But it seems like I'm making more money, I'm getting these bigger clients, these bigger orders, but I'm not freeing up my time. So I'm like, what is the issue? And I've discovered it. When people message me and say, hi, like your most basic or cheapest gig is not really what I'm looking for. Instead of this big order that costs all this amount of money, I just need this little thing for this budget. And the truth is, that budget probably fits their little project. So I say yes, and I do it. But here is the catch. Even though I'm taking these little projects on, I need those bigger, more difficult, more pressure, longer working hours projects to really pay the bills, to really give me some stability. So while I'm saying yes to these smaller projects, I still need to accept the bigger ones. Because unless I'm only doing smaller projects and I'm only doing like 20 of them, which I still think would not make sense. I've raised my prices, but if I'm taking all these small projects, I'm not actually hitting those marks without taking the bigger ones. Those small projects are not matching where I am right now. It doesn't mean I don't have to take any at all, because I love working for people. I love people who just have a little budget, they just want to work with me, and they just have a little project. I love that, and I love helping people with that. But I can't do 10 projects a week like that, which is what I'm doing right now. 10 clients a week I have are small projects. But do you want to know what this means? It means that when I find an hour to myself, a half hour throughout the day, oh look, a 15-minute break, instead of me being able to channel that into some creative project I'm working on or my business building, I have to spend it doing these smaller projects. When I finish and deliver these huge, massive projects that I can exhale and finally say, oh, thank God, I'm done. I can take a break, or I can work on myself, or I can work on my own projects or my own business. I have to do those little projects because I said I would squeeze them in. I'd fit them in. I'd get it done. And because they're smaller and they have a smaller budget, I often do it on a quicker turnaround time. So instead of planning it out that I can work on it when I actually have time that doesn't take away from my personal time, I'm squeezing it in. So you see this issue. You see where taking all these small projects is actually hurting you. It's not benefiting you. And it's scary. It's scary to reach a point where you say, I can only work with the big players, the big projects. That's going to be hard for me because I'm going to have to turn people away. Now like I said, I'm not giving up everybody on small projects. If you have a small project, you can reach out to me. But it's been really hard for me to keep up with my coaching business, which is the part of my business that I'm ready to grow now. I've done the freelancing. I'm doing the freelancing. I know that I can get those high-paying clients I know that I can make a stable income freelancing. I know that I'm ready to expand my freelancing brand and bring in new clients at any time. Those opportunities exist for me. That's not the direction that I'm going right now. The direction that I'm going right now with my business is to coach, is to build this channel, is to build this social media, to build my website, to really get my membership area going, which is coming eventually. It has to be not perfect, because I don't believe in perfect, but it has to be value. I want to make sure it's valuable. Every person I say yes to is taking away from that. Now, if I don't have any big projects this week, sure, I can take on a few small ones. Next week I have 3 big projects, no small ones. That's the beauty of being a freelancer, and that's the challenge of being a freelancer. You actually have to measure out day by day, week by week, because no 2 weeks look the same, no 2 days look the same. It's just the nature of the work, and I love it. I'm passionate about it. I love that. But I have to consider that. So it's just a scary but also exciting realization to realize that I've hit this milestone. But now what I have to do is figure out, how do I handle this? So let's say somebody comes to you with a small project and a budget price, and it's worth your time because the project fits the budget. It's just that it's a smaller project. So it's not going to replace a bigger client. It's not going to bring you in a bunch of money, but it's something worth doing if you have the time. How do you handle it? Let's go over some scenarios. So first, if you already have way too many big projects going on, you can say, hi, I'm really interested in helping you. I would love to take this project on. Your budget makes sense. The only problem is I cannot fit you in between my clients right now. So I'm willing to work at this budget, but the turnaround time is going to be a week or 2, maybe a month. It's okay to give a crazy timeline because this person is expecting budget work. Another topic we're going to talk about is how when you work with people who have a budget, they usually understand that budget comes with a little bit of compromise. So they might say yes, and then you just give it a huge timeline, and when you actually have time to pick at it, you can. The problem with this, though, is if you put it off till last minute, it's going to end up taking away your free time in a future week. Or if you have 10 clients message you in a week and you do this with all of them, the last week of the month is going to be crazy. So you have to pay attention, keep it on record, look at your planner, and just pay attention. The next thing you can do is you can tell someone, if you're not interested in doing small projects, period, you don't want to give them a timeline, you can say, hi, thank you for your consideration. I would love to help, but unfortunately, I don't have the capacity to work at this scale. If you would like to do a bigger order, here are your options. And you can give them a couple options. Make it worth your time. What is something that would be worth your time? Give them those options. Because some people want to work with you that bad, they will probably do it if it makes sense for them and if it fits their budget. It's okay to say that. And sometimes they might say, oh, I'd rather do a little one and then have a long-term collaboration. You can take that on if you want to do a trial offer and treat it as a trial offer. Again, tread the waters lately. That's a red flag we spoke about before. Potential doesn't pay the bills. So if you really think the potential is there, you can do that. If not, you can say, I just don't have the capacity to take on a small amount of work right now. Another option that you have is you can tell someone, I would love to take this on. It doesn't fit into my schedule right now. If you're really passionate about working with me, I can reach back to you in whatever amount of days makes sense for you, and we can discuss more. That's how you cannot shut someone down but still protect your right to your time. So that's an option as well. And finally, you can just tell people no. I don't love that. It hurts me to say that because I don't want to turn away people who have small projects. I don't want to tell them no because their project is too small for me, because I've been the small project. I have small projects. I've been the person with a small budget. I am the person with a small budget. So when I have to tell people with smaller projects that I just don't have the capacity or it's not worth my time right now, it hurts me and it might hurt them. And I don't like that feeling. However, there are so many freelancers. So maybe you even know somebody you can point them towards, or you can offer them, like I said, to do it another time, or you can flat out say no. And if you want to explain yourself, you can, but you also don't have to. In saying this, even just saying this into the mic right now, I'm thinking to myself, when I say no to their small projects, I'm saying yes to mine. And that's something that I've always struggled with. I've always struggled with saying yes to me and my projects. I've always put myself on the back burner, and it never turns out better. I never really level up the way that I want to or expand my brand the way I want to when I do that. So if I don't change, who will? And I wish that right now my YouTube and my coaching business and all that were at a place where I only want to do small projects, because that's another step I'm going to reach one day. Just because I need big projects right now and that's what's worth my time, it doesn't mean that's it now. As a freelancer, I'm only going to go for big projects. I'm also going to go for smaller ones. When my Guiding Creatives brand has a little bit more stability when it comes to income and clients and members, I will go back to just smaller projects, because I'm not going to want to do these big projects anymore. I'm not going to need to do these big projects anymore. It's not that you're not worth my time. It's not that the small projects aren't worth my time. It's that I need to focus on me. I need to focus on my creative growth because I want to help people. It's difficult. It's difficult. And some people are probably watching this like that you can say no to people so easy, you can not give it a second thought, and you may not care that their feelings are hurt, that you're like, no, I need bigger projects, like you are not my level. And I think the issue is I take things so personally, so I think they will, but it's just business. It's just time. And sometimes you just have to say, as much as I would love to help you, I don't have the capacity right now. You know, you can check back in at such and such time, or I can refer you to so-and-so. Good luck with your project, and I really wish you all the success in the world. You can say nice things. You can have a nice goodbye or a nice no thank you. You can say nice things. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. This is just something that's really come up for me. I've really had this big realization, and I just want to share it with you all. So thank you so much for listening to me. And if you can relate, leave a comment. And yeah, if you have any topics or questions or things you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.